Hey, it's party time, Mom. Welcome to another episode of the Chad Prather Show. Memphis, Tennessee. That's where I'm going to be tomorrow night. 2 shows. Memphis, Tennessee, the Lafayette Music Room. Also going to be in Fort Smith, Arkansas on the 2nd, and in El Dorado, Arkansas on the 3rd. On the 3rd, we're going to jump in that bus. Me, Jesse Payton, the Ragamuffins. It's going to be a whole crew. People who come to those shows are going to have a full-blown experience. Watch Chad.com. That's where all the fun stuff is, but it's where you can get your tickets and your information. Have you subscribed to Blaze TV yet? I'm encouraging you guys, especially after watching the last 2 episodes this week, with all the YouTube crap, and Candace and I were talking about it earlier while I was getting my makeup done, darling, about how we're getting squeezed and the censorship is real. Steven Crowder's been deplatformed, demonetized yet again. I don't know if you got a chance to catch his loud stream on louderwithcrowder.com. I mean, look, I don't like Steven, right? But I'm representing. I got his shirt on and the whole thing, you know. Just kidding. I'd demonetize him too. But seriously, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. We're getting squeezed. So just get over to support independent people. BlazeTV.com, BlazeTV.com/Chad. Use promo code CPS. Candice, Queen of the Ethiopian, sleek and regal on a Wednesday. The Puppet Master Mark, the perfectionist, keeping us in line, flying us into the nether regions of all things therapeutic, which, by the way, you missed your therapy session today.
You're my therapist today.
I'm your therapist. I need a good therapist. I need a therapist.
I know a girl.
Do you?
Yes.
The last kind of therapist I need.
You'll have to come to the Slake for it, though.
You like your therapist?
Yeah, I do.
Do you talk about that?
I do. Yeah.
Everybody's got a therapist.
Yeah, I swear. But I think I'm doing good because this is my 2nd week in a row that I haven't seen her, but I don't feel like I need to see her yet.
How does that make you feel?
No, I'm not like, my house and everything is getting, everything's moved out now. So the hardest part has been, it's done. Yeah. So now it's just like.
Now that it's done, how does that make you feel?
No, I'm glad. Now it's fun. Now it's fun, like picking the stuff up and waiting for everything to come in. And
having not seen your therapist for 2 weeks, how does that make you feel?
I miss her, but I don't have any. I'm not like having a meltdown right now. Maybe next week I'll be melting down.
Yeah, when you have meltdowns, how does that make you feel?
Very manic and panicked.
That's therapy. How does that make you feel? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, they just listen, really. It's just an unbiased opinion. It's just somebody that I usually call it like my weekly dump, my brain dump of just like random stuff that I can just talk to her about.
That's what I use the internet for. Facebook and YouTube and this show. It's therapeutic. It's grand. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for watching and being a supporter. Go to where podcasts are offered and leave us a 5-star rating and a review and pray for Lisa.
Speaking of podcasts, my podcast is coming back this
Friday.
Friday. It's Friday.
You.
Yes.
Look at you. There's so many things going on in the world. I heard on the news just this morning, they're now trying to indict former President Donald Trump for all COVID deaths.
What?
All COVID deaths. They want him held responsible.
Okay.
For all COVID deaths. The other thing that I heard was, did you catch this? Andrew Cuomo, embattled governor of New York. Andrew Cuomo. He was issuing VIP, apparently, allegedly, issuing VIP passes, if you will, for people to go get testing and the COVID. Like Chris, his brother, he didn't wait in line to go get tested. They came to his house in the Hamptons.
Very convenient.
And gave him like lots of tests over and over. Anytime he wanted one, just test him. Just test. But apparently there were all these people, and there's like leaked audio of phone calls where his aides were like really bitching at people because they weren't getting stuff done right, and they weren't getting these people in there. And so this guy, man, and Cuomo says, nope, never happened, didn't happen.
But the audio tapes are out there.
But it happened.
Yeah.
Come on, we know now.
He's the worst.
Now. These guys.
And like he still refuses to resign, and everyone wants him out of there.
It's weird to me.
Yeah.
Like my campaign officially started last week, and I'm ready to quit already. I don't know why these guys put up with all this.
How do you deal with it? You're not even 7 full days in to it.
And what's funny now is I can't make jokes on my Facebook page. My personal, I haven't been able to post on any of my other business pages in months. But my Facebook page, my personal one, is the only one I'm able to. And people are so irritated. Like if you make a joke, no matter how stupid the joke is. Like I stole the joke from the internet that said this ship has now blocked so much stuff in the Suez. The ship in the Suez Canal has now blocked so much stuff they should name it the USS Mitch McConnell. And people are losing their friggin' minds.
Or they're like, this is not how a governor to be
You
should
shouldn't
be.
make jokes. Why are you talking about Republicans?
Yeah.
What's your problem with Abbott and McConnell and blah, blah, blah? I have a problem with all politicians. That's the point.
And if you've been listening and pay attention, this is not new news.
No. And when we get it, we're going to take a break in a second, but I want to talk about the cult, which is politics. We got some headlines and we want to talk about there's just crazy stuff going on, but we got it's just the religion of politics. I'm up to here with it.
You're going to be breaking that up real soon once you get in there.
Man, I can't stand it, dude. It's become a cult. Yeah, I said it. It's a cult. Makes me want to drink. Next time you grill up a couple of steaks. And by the way, let me say, while I was down in Washington County and Austin County, when I was down in Brenham, Texas, and down in that area, we went down Washington on the Brazos. We ate at LJ's Barbecue. LJ's Barbecue has the best ribs I've ever eaten in my life.
Really?
In my life. And they said, that's not very... People got pissed when I said that online, too, because they were like, well, to be a politician, you have to say some of the best.
Oh,
No. They were the best I've ever had. They were fabulous. I don't know if you've ever had a good rib, but that's... if you're grilling steaks, if you're eating barbecue, you need the extreme altitude Malbec wines from Argentina. Remote vineyards in Argentina located up around 9,000 feet. And when the vintners aren't making wine, they're herding cattle. So they know a lot about meat. They know about barbecue. They know about steaks. If you've been to Argentina, you know this is the real deal. As soon as you open the bottle, you're going to experience delicious notes of blackberry, leather, smoke, and a little dark cherry. You're also getting less sugar, less chemicals, less additives, and 10 times more resveratrol, which is a powerful longevity booster. The guys over at cowboywines.com just got a special shipment of the wines in. They've got one Malbec from the third highest vineyard in the world, 8,950 feet. That's up there. Cowboywines.com. Cowboywines.com. You're going to get 50% off the wine, 50% off the shipping. It's a small shipment. It's going to go fast. I want you to go to cowboywines.com and do it today. We'll be right back. I need a glass of that Cowboy Wines right now.
I'll take one too.
Some of that Bonner private wine. Third highest. I always want to say largest. Third highest vineyard in the world.
Oh.
8,950 feet.
Whoa.
Strong Malbecs.
You could give me a Malbec from like the dollar spot at Target or a really expensive one, and I would not be able to tell the difference at all.
That's so funny. I'll tell you. You have these folks that come at you online.
Yes.
And they want to start, well, first of all, you have to take it with a grain of salt because you have a lot of people who will post comments under my threads and they'll say, why don't you put what you're thinking? Why don't you put what you believe out there so we can see it? And I'm like, okay, it's not my fault that you don't pay attention to, I mean, if anybody lives transparently out there, it's me when it comes to what I believe.
Totally.
It's out there.
It's your whole brand.
It's out there.
Yeah.
So whether you're watching this show, and I'll post links to these shows in the comment thread of saying, okay, now go watch this episode. We talk about it in detail. Nope. They don't want to do that. So, and then every person wants you to respond to them individually. Like every platform position of everything you believe. And I'm like, you post the website that's got a general synopsis of all of my major issues. There's about 8 on there. And it's like, okay, there. No, we want to hear from you directly. Why? I don't have time for that. I can't do it. So, but then here's the people who really just, I just want to shake them a little bit. It's the people who have been serving in some form or fashion in state politics forever, doing whatever they're doing. They're a delegate. They volunteered here. They represented this. They worked with this legislature. You know, they did all this stuff. They helped get this passed. And like they wear it like a badge of honor, right? It's
and like they know.
Like I did this. And if you aren't willing to allow potential voters to grill you on, because I've done this, and you better shape up and show this and that, and you better be this and you better be that. I'm like, I am not joining your cult. I'm not. Look, George Washington was a land surveyor who won a war. And after he served as president 2 terms, went back to Mount Vernon and made whiskey. That's the biggest example I know how to. I mean, you take Abraham Lincoln. What were Abraham Lincoln's qualifications? He lost everything he ever did. And then he became one of the greatest presidents history's ever known. All right? You can look at throughout history. And everybody's like, well, see, Donald Trump's done. Look, okay, Donald Trump had 90% name recognition. Donald Trump was more than just. Donald Trump was somebody, right? I'm talking about the nobodies that are out there. You realize back in, 91, 92, when Bill Clinton, nobody knew who Bill Clinton was. Nobody cared who Bill Clinton was. I can remember I was in college at Georgia, and we were having to write some stuff on then candidates who were running in the Democratic primary. And everything you read, every article was about also Bill Clinton. You know, he was way down the list.
Yeah.
He was like 6th in the rankings down there. Nobody gave him any love. Nobody
Except
gave
for
him
Monica
any
Lewinsky.
He got some of that love. You know what I'm talking about?
He sure
you know
got some love.
Puppet Master?
In more ways than one. Woo.
So at the end of the day, the takeaway from Donald Trump is Donald Trump, it cost him half of his fortune to go out there and take all that crap from everybody, right? I'm a dude that wants to step up and use his platform against my better judgment to make a difference. If that difference means I'm stirring the conversation so that Greg Abbott will make sure that vaccine passports become illegal, and he's already come out and said, vaccines are all voluntary. We're not going to do passports. We'll make them illegal, right? If I can stir that conversation up, if I can do something and just in a little bit of a way, use my platform and my voice to say, no more mask mandates. Open up the bars and the restaurants. Let people go back to work. You want a stimulus package? Let people go back to work. I'm for Texans. I'm for the state of Texas.
Yeah.
We went down to Washington on the Brazos, Independence Hall, where the Declaration of Independence was signed. The Texas Declaration of Independence was signed. And that's where we started our media launch for the campaign. I mean, I've been in this thing now for months and months and months, but as far as the media was concerned, we wanted to go where Texas was born, right? So that's where we went. We stood down there, Independence Hall, at the crossroads. These guys signed the Declaration of Independence, not even knowing what was happening exactly at the Alamo. By the time the word got, those guys at the Alamo had been on fire for 3 days, right? And history was being made. Texas has never mustered an army or a force larger than 1,000 troops at any given time. But look what all it's accomplished. Since 1800, it never had an army larger than 1,000 troops. But it gained its independence, right? Incredible spirit, fighting spirit. Men who came from all over the country to Texas, right? And created this great state we've got. It's something to be proud of. People need to step up. And when they step up, don't try to crucify them for sacrificing their own personal money and their own personal time and their own personal relationships, all these things that you sacrifice just to go out and say, I love my state.
Right.
I want it to be great. Right?
Yeah.
Well, let's see what you put forth in certain legislation and blah, 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 blah. It's like, look, there are people who do those things. There are people, and God bless you for doing them. We need legislators. We need people to do that. But that ain't the governor's job.
Right.
Right? At the end of the day, we need somebody that can stand up and say, it's time to get this state back on track.
Yeah.
And Greg Abbott, in my opinion, is backtracking on everything he ever did because he just didn't get a good approval rating from CPAC. Right? Nobody wanted him to be president. He got a goose egg. He got a 0. Ron DeSantis came in second behind Trump, right, in the straw poll at CPAC. Abbott got 0. And now he's trying to go back and he's trying to undo a lot of the things that he did. Sorry, you opened Pandora's box. It's out there. I stepped up and I'm putting my money where my mouth is. That's the way I feel about it, Lisa. That's the way
I know.
That's the way I feel about it.
You are the man for the job.
Well, maybe I am, maybe I'm not, right? I feel like I am. I feel like I can do that job. I feel like I can you guys, I can hear the snickers over there from Candace.
That's her snacking.
No,
she's eating a Lunchable.
I feel, and feelings don't matter. But we're out there and learning as we go in a big way. It's on the job training. It's like trying to take a sip of water from a fire hydrant. It's a lot going on. But I'll tell you what I've learned. I've learned that there's a lot of great people out there. There's a lot of great Texas patriots out there. There's a lot of people in this state who are working hard to make this state great. And there's a lot of people out there who we can complain about the naysayers and all this, but there's a lot of great people out there who are really working hard, and they know. They see through the smoke and mirrors, right? They see what's really going on in this state. And I just feel like we are setting a precedent here in the state of Texas by our governor that is going to be untenable in our future. Whether it's selling off land to foreign countries, whether it's being bought out by big California companies, whatever those things may be. I feel like it's going to be untenable for the future of our state. Whew.
What are you going to do about all these illegal immigrants coming in?
We got it. Well, we need the wall's got to be built, but that's not the end result.
I don't hear a lot from Greg Abbott about that.
Well, because nobody exactly knows what to do. Now, my plan is pretty extreme.
I love extreme. What are we going to do? We're going to continue building the wall?
I'll tell you this. Look, and I don't want anybody, and I always qualify it with this. These are human beings.
Yep. We
have to uncover why they're leaving where they're from. What's driving them out of their home countries, right? This is not Venezuela they're coming from. I understand people becoming refugees and leaving Venezuela. We send billions of dollars to Honduras and these Central American companies, right? These are democracies. We send money to them. These are places that have corrupt governments, regardless of how they define themselves. They have corrupt governments, and you have these people in these villages that they never see the light of day. I mean, the poverty is beyond anything we can imagine. So why are they leaving? Obviously, we've turned a light on for them. And the rhetoric of the Bidens and the Kamala Harrises and those who have said, now you see this video footage. I was just seeing some this morning of these facilities, these quote-unquote migrant facilities that are overrun and just packed to the gills with human beings. And it's a sad thing to see. 800% to capacity. I mean, it's out of control. 30,000 illegals have been released into the U.S. since January.
And they're not going to stop, they said, through October, maybe the whole year. We're just going to keep getting
You're going to keep getting
tons.
They're not vaccinated. They're not tested. They're not any of that. If you want to worry about COVID, and a lot of people are, but we're bringing these folks in. They're not giving them a court date, which they don't care about the court dates anyway because they don't come back, right? So a wall would help, but it's not. The wall has never been the be-all, end-all, right? I mean, unless you're going to electrify the damn thing or set landmines around it. But hey, we're not Cuba,
right?
This is a humanitarian crisis. You got to turn the light off. If you turn the light on, the moths are going to come to the flame, right? We've turned the light on in a big, big way. We've got to shut that rhetoric down. Barack Obama said to George Stephanopoulos back in, 2012, if you come here, if you send your kids here, we'll send them back. They're not staying, right? Now that's almost hate speech to say something like that. But that's got to be the right way we do it. This whole, we're just going to take everybody. We can't do that. So we've got to shut the rhetoric down. We got to shut the border down, and we got to figure out why we're giving billions of dollars to these corrupt governments over there, and it's not getting to the people. Why are it's not?
Yeah.
So we got to shut that down. We got to quit doing that. We're funding bad ideologies. We're funding bad governments, and the people are being driven out of their own countries. I mean, my extreme thing is you put them on one of those C-130 cargo planes and you fly them all the way back down to Guatemala every time. And you say, you start over. What's your country of origin? Here you go. I mean, you're like, well, that's kind of cruel. No, it's not. We're taking them home.
Well, yeah, and they're coming illegally.
It's cheaper to spend a tank of gas on a big cargo plane to take people home.
Yep, than housing them.
Now, and I understand what people are going to say. They're going to say, oh, they're just going to come right back. Not easily, they're not.
Right.
And this is a tragic thing because you are dealing with children, you're dealing with trafficked, you're dealing with cartel, you're dealing with drugs, you're dealing with all these different issues that are there. It's a humanitarian crisis. But you take them home. And this is not like, and I had Border Patrol friends who have said, we'd pick a guy up in Laredo, Texas, we'd put him on a plane, and we'd fly him to Tucson, Arizona, and put him across the border there. 3 days later, he'd be back in Laredo coming across. So what I'm saying is we're not saying, okay, smack on the butt, see you later. No, we take them all the way back.
To the very, very, very other side of the country.
Right. I mean, you've got to put the space there. You got to put the distance. You got to put the space there.
Yeah.
But so I think if you mix all those things together, but on the state level, we have got to do everything we can to support ICE and Border Patrol. We've got to, because they're a thin line. And if they just start saying, we're not getting the support, why do you think they're turning 30,000 loose? Because they have nothing they can do with it.
And they're actually, I heard on the news, they are asking for volunteers.
Yeah.
Volunteers to go and be Border Patrol.
I spoke with a gentleman over the weekend. He had just gotten back from the border. And he said when he went to a Border Patrol checkpoint, they said, have you seen anyone? And he said, what do you mean? They said, any illegals? Have you seen anyone? And he said, I haven't. And they said, well, if you run the border, we'll pay you $100 a head.
For everybody that he finds.
For everybody that you find and tell us about.
Wow.
I mean, they're overrun with, it's bad. And no, I mean, you saw Cruz and all those guys down at the border the other day, and they're just saying, you're not being told the truth with what's going on.
I mean, I props to Cruz for just getting up there, because he's calling everybody out. But yeah. There's a lot more going on if the press isn't allowed there.
And screw political points at this point in time.
Yeah.
This is a humanitarian crisis.
Yeah. Yep.
And you've got to go back to the whole origin. Why are they leaving their own home countries? Anyway, you never thought COVID could cost you your home. You've heard me say it. I'm going to say it again. Cybercrime up 75% these days, and by far the most serious cybercrime that you need to be worried about is about your home title theft. That's right. Cyber criminals. They're all over the world. They're right here in our back door. They're after our homes. It's easier than you think for them to get it. The title documents to your homes are online right now. Thief finds your home's title and forges your signature on a quitclaim deed stating you sold your home, and then takes out loans against your home, leaves you with the debt. You're not going to know it until these late payment notices or eviction notices start showing up. Insurance is not going to cover it. Common identity theft programs aren't going to cover this. That's why you got to protect your home with Home Title Lock. The instant Home Title Lock detects someone tampering with your home's title. They will shut it down immediately. Go to HometitleLock.com. Register your address. See if you're already a victim. Use code RADIO. You'll get 30 free days of protection. Code RADIO. HometitleLock.com. That's HometitleLock.com. And we'll be right back. I didn't know that a person could sell juice and be a billionaire. Hans Peter Wild, a multi-billionaire. And he owns an extremely amazing yacht. You know where he made all of his money? Capri Sun. You know what we still haven't done? Tried to beat the 16-second record on.
I was totally thinking about that the other day because I was cleaning my pantry out, and I have to bring it in. You weren't in here,
Candace. You had stepped out when we did that news story about the guy that broke the record, 16 seconds, Capri Sun. I think I could beat it.
I think I can beat it too. I'm bringing them in on Monday.
Okay. I think we could do it. So he wrecked his yacht. I want a yacht. I want yacht money.
I would like just what is it called? A pontoon
boat?
I just want something. I'll take a rowboat or a kayak.
250-foot yacht, Lisa. Onboard helipad, swimming pool, steam room, gym, even a hospital.
What?
There's the boat opens on the side like a garage door, as a lot of these do. A little 32-foot mini version comes out. It's the little limousine if you need to go to shore and get you a beer.
Oh.
So we got the video of this thing. Let's play this sucker. Here it is.
OMG. No.
Oh, he's going to hit the concrete on this one. Getting the concrete now. What's going on?
Yeah. Suez Schmuez.
Oh my gosh.
Who needs a tanker when you can crash a yacht?
That's what you get when
Apparently there was a
Hans.
computer system malfunction.
Oh
that
my!
Sent the automatic navigation into haywire mode. I mean, I've flipped a golf cart before.
I drove through an intersection in January.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah. You ran right through there, didn't you?
I could tell you something about getting in some accidents and crashing things up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Capri Sun. That's what Capri Sun gets you right there.
Dang.
That's what your kids and your rotted teeth, sugar water.
Your roaring waters.
White House official website and Twitter account lists the Biden-Harris administration a break in tradition from the previous two administrations.
Really?
No kidding. It's because they don't do anything.
You don't say.
They laugh about stuff. I'm so sick of that cackle. Why every time you ask her a question about a tragedy or just something that's just bad, she starts cackling?
I think it's to deflect from the actual question.
Yeah, I guess so.
The TikToks are insane with Kamala imitators in her cackling laugh. Yeah.
I can't. Welcome to the Biden-Harris White House.
Soon to be Harris White House by probably July.
Well, that's the thing. Biden has repeatedly stumbled in reference to his VP. They called her President Harris earlier this month in a speech celebrating the administration nearing its goal of providing 100 million COVID-19 vaccines. Yep, he's done that over and over again.
Well, I mean, he's got dementia, so that's what happens. You
the
forget.
man's brain, Mark, is pudding. It ain't there, dude. That press conference thing the other night
Painful.
was horrible. I mean, I can't get over it. I can't get past
the two masks and him speaking at these press conferences with the two masks on.
Yeah. World Health Organization report is blaming animals, not the lab, for COVID. They say the animals are the source of the deadly pandemic.
Animals?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. It was agreed first that China would have veto power over who got to be on the mission, blah, blah, blah. WHO agreed that on top of that, the WHO agreed that in most instances, China would do the primary investigation, then just share the findings with its international experts. I mean, what could go wrong there? So these international experts weren't allowed to do their own primary investigation. So Leslie Stahl with CBS said, "You're saying that China did the investigation and showed the results to the committee and that was it?" Pretty much that was it. Not entirely, but pretty much that was it. Imagine if we had asked the Soviet Union to do a co-investigation of Chernobyl. Doesn't really make sense. Since the initial outbreak of COVID-19, the Chinese Communist Party has lied and covered up the world's pandemic. To the world, the pandemic's origins, the World Health Organization played along, and as CCP's useful idiots, a thorough and truly independent investigation is long overdue. The evolutionary distance between these bat viruses and COVID-19 is estimated to be several decades. Yeah, so U.S. officials have studied the possibility that the virus escaped from the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Former CDC Director Robert Redfield said last week he believes the outbreak started at the Wuhan Lab. Golly, nah, it was a panda bear.
I'm actually surprised that they're not blaming Trump for this.
But they are.
Well, they are, but
they want to hold him accountable. They want to indict the man for every COVID death. It's insane.
So they can't stop thinking about him, talking about him. Everything is about Trump.
They can't let it go. Did you see, Candace? Did you see? So he did the interview yesterday with Laura Trump, right? Did you see that? So there was a deal that went out for social media that said if it's even the voice of Trump, you'll get penalized for post. Like if you post a video, even a clip, and the algorithm picks up the voice of Trump, you're going to get penalized for it. It's insane.
The censorship is.
Yeah, I mean, and they're like, just the voice and the cadence of President Trump, we will penalize you on this thing. Social media.
It's ridiculous.
So let's not play any clips of Donnie T. All right?
They'll come for us.
It's insane, man.
So ridiculous.
The California county helps fund universal basic income program restricted to women of color. There's nothing racist about that.
No, not at all. If you're white, sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
Sucks to be you.
Marion County, California, they've launched a UBI program, Universal Basic Income is what that stands for, in the county designed to give $1,000 a month to 125 qualifying residents for 2 years in partnership with the Marion Community Foundation. The county's contributing $400,000 to the program. That's dollars, people. With the remainder of the estimated $3 million coming from the foundation. Yeah, there you go. The chief executive of Marion Community Foundation, Thomas Peters, said this first cohort will focus on low-income moms of color. We're starting with those moms with the greatest aggregate of challenges. Here they are. Low income, young children, facing the daily travails and insults of overt and covert racial discrimination.
And not Caucasian. Like what like we're toast? The white women don't get this
That's
part
right.
of this deal?
They face the daily travails and insults of overt and covert racial discrimination. Yeah.
It's so rough.
Yeah. That's Did you see the clip of the Asian lady walking in front of the grocery store?
Yes.
You didn't see that? And the guy?
Yes.
I don't know if he was black or Arabic or whatever he was. He looked kind of Arabic to me.
65 years old.
And he kicks her down on the ground and then stomps her head into the concrete a couple of times.
Yes.
Sent her to the hospital.
Yep.
Bad deal. And it's on security footage. But then the two security guards, or one guy and one's a security guy, rather than going out there and helping her, one just watched it happen. The other guy just comes and shuts the door on her.
They should be arrested. They should be arrested too.
I agree. Stop Asian hate. Wearing a face covering, physical distancing, and hand washing are not the only ways that people can protect themselves from COVID-19. Eating a healthy diet is essential to building a strong immune system so that your body is less susceptible to infection. According to Carlin Rafey, a registered dietitian and professor at Virginia Tech's College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. Coincidentally, Field of Greens, yep, you got it, packed with 18 clinically researched essential fruits and vegetables, plus green tea, ginger, turmeric, and beets. It's like having a bunch of fresh fruits and vegetables in a jar. Additionally, Field of Greens can support heart health, your immune system, metabolism, blood pressure, and digestion. It's got prebiotic and probiotics. It's good for everybody, including the young athletes in your home. Just put 1 scoop in a glass of water, stir it up, drink it, you're done. Go to brickhousechad.com. 15% off your first order with promo code CHAD, I spell it Chad, at checkout. This is the easiest and fastest way to start living healthier. Go to brickhousechad.com. Use promo code Chad. Right back. So I don't know if you guys have seen the video or not. It's pretty graphic. We're going to show it, so just be warned. You had the two teenage girls, 13 and 15. They carjacked Muhammad Anwar in Washington, D.C. Did you see this video?
No,
He was
I
an Uber
haven't.
Eats. He was an Uber Eats driver, right?
Awful.
And he was, like most do, was fighting to get his car back. And CNN kind of caught a lot of backlash over how they described it, because they described it as an accident.
Oh, an accident?
Yeah. So now, if this had been, let's say, a black driver and two teenage white girls,
Yep.
this would be a whole other narrative.
They'd already
going
be
on.
in prison and sentenced.
People are like, why do you bring this stuff up? Because it's just the damn truth.
It is the truth. Yep.
And this is the world we're living in these days, and the hypocrisy is insane. I'm sick of it. The teenagers attacked him with a stun gun during the carjacking. And just watch the video. Go ahead, Mark.
Call the police. Call the police.
upstairs.
They're thieves.
What's going on?
Call the cops. They're trying to steal his car. This is my car. 6 feet to his car? He said it's his car. Yeah, he is their phone. No, this is my car. She's stealing their car. He's stealing the car? Yeah, we called the cops. Call the cops. Call the cops.
Is that the car? That's the car?
attention calls. Stole the car. These girls stole the car. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Hey, come out! Hey, they stole the car. They stole the car. These girls. That's it. Everybody's out. Everybody step back from the car. Everybody step back from the car. My phone is in there. No. Step back from the car. Everybody, I need you to step back from the street. I saw what happened. I need everybody to step back. There's gas leaking. Yeah, hey, back up. I seen it down there.
Washington, D.C., Anwar subsequently died from his injuries. And, the D.C. mayor came out. I think it was the mayor who came out and said, or it might have been the district attorney, one or the other, I can't remember, but it said not going to try them as adults. And which is ridiculous.
Yep.
The enhanced murder charges against the teenager stem from a legal doctrine that, quote, allows a killing that occurs in the course of a dangerous felony, even an accidental death, to be charged against the felon as first-degree murder. CNN, of course, they said that Anwar died because of an accident in which he was fatally injured. Police said the girls 13 and 15 assaulted an Uber Eats driver with a taser while carjacking him, which led to an accident in which he was fatally injured. Of course, CNN was universally condemned for framing what police are calling a felony murder. Many critics suggested the race of the suspects, both of whom are black, played a role in CNN softening the language used to describe the crime. So you see some of these comments. Keith Oberman said, hey, anybody home, this is not an accident. Tim Dillon, our friend and comedian, said, these girls made a whoopsie when they murdered this man. Total accident. They were in wrong place at wrong time. They're good kids. Kids murder in cold blood, make mistakes. Laura Ingram said, wonder what took CNN so long to report that the rest of us did days ago doesn't advance their poisonous race narrative. That's why. And a white man shoots 6 Asians and 2 white people, and he's a white supremacist. A Middle Eastern man shoots up a store, and, well, don't jump to conclusions. They say 2 young black girls assault a man with a taser and murder him. It's an accident. Oh, the hypocrisy. So, yeah, it's a sad deal, but the justice is so skewed right now. In the way the narrative is spun. It's a sad deal.
Yep.
So, anyway. And apparently, the fatal carjacking of the Uber Eats driver is part of a disturbing trend in D.C., according to the cops. The New York Post. 4 teenage boys arrested for carjackings in D.C. after a similar incident led to the death of an Uber Eats driver earlier this week. In what may be part of a disturbing trend, 2 13-year-old boys were busted for 2 back-to-back armed carjackings just days after teenage girls were charged in the one video you just saw. Apparently, these boys allegedly whipped out a handgun and demanded that a victim get out of his car before fleeing in the ride around 7:10. What's up with these teenagers? Let's see. Just over an hour later, the same teens struck again. They pulled a knife this time, assaulted the victim. And, yep. So, if somebody tries to steal your car, Lisa, let them take it.
100%.
Okay?
Yeah. Although Stu wouldn't be happy if I gave away this car. He'd be like, "You'll be in a Kia, okay? Next time, you'll be in a Kia." But that's ridiculous. I can't believe that video. I had not seen that Uber Eats video.
I just don't understand this whole world of tragedy taking place while other people film it with their phones.
And post it immediately.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, this to me,
like, they can't be bothered.
Even going along those same lines, I think like the most telling is the last couple, like 15 seconds of that when she's screaming that her phone is in the car while she's standing next to the man that she just murdered.
Yeah.
In no regard.
Like,
None of
shows
those
you the
kids there.
disassociation.
Yeah. Yep. No one even ran over to the guy.
Yeah. Well, they were saying to back up because there was gas leaking and all of that was going on. So, if you listen to the thing, but it's sad. I mean, we live in a world where Dr. Seuss is banned, Mr. Potato Head is changing genders, and people are playing Grand Theft Auto,
For real, taking it to the streets in real life.
And then they go out there, and people get mad at me when I say this, and I really don't care. We have devalued the sanctity of human life to the point that, an unborn baby is just a protoplasmic, inconvenient blob that we get rid of. All the way up to this. I mean, we've seen violence. We've seen violence paraded in front of us. We've laundered it. We've laughed at it. We've legalized it. We've done so many different things to make human life seem insignificant. And that's what happens when a generation comes along that has never been taught the value of life, You talk about Black Lives Matter. You talk about all lives matter, white lives, whatever. I mean, lives matter. They do. But when it's been devalued to the point where, these kids are out here shooting each other in the streets in Chicago. My equation there, the liberal equation is if it's an assault rifle, white supremacy. We care about that, right? Mass shooting, oh my God, they're going to label it every time. But if it's a handgun or a knife in the hands of a black kid in the street somewhere, then apparently black lives don't matter in that case, right? Because that's where the real violence is going on. But they've dehumanized everyone to the point where no lives are mattering anymore. And that's what sucks.
And also the fact that all of this stuff gets filmed and people are so desensitized to it.
Yeah. All of it.
It's like, oh, another person just got shot.
Yeah.
On to the next video.
Yeah. I mean, and let me say, our prayers go out to the family of Texas trooper Chad Walker, who was shot the other night. I had gotten news about that prior to it breaking because I was kind of privy to some things, and I didn't know all the details, but it's a bad situation. Lost his life after a long fight. It's sad, and that's the world we're living in. Hang tight. So come see us tomorrow night, Memphis, Tennessee. 2 shows, 6 and 8, I think, are the times. Lafayette Music Room, and going to be in Fort Smith, Arkansas on Friday night. Saturday night, going to be in El Dorado. Hope everybody has a happy Easter weekend. And you guys, y'all do a big Easter thing?
We are this year.
Are you?
Yeah.
Having a little celebration.
We're doing we're doing some Easter egg hunts. Got the
golden eggs. In spite
of
what Joe Biden wants you to do?
Screw Joe Biden, man.
Screw Joe Biden.
We're having a super spreader event Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
Yeah, man.
He is alive.
He has risen.
Yep. The spirit of him who dwells in you brought life to Christ's body. How much more will he give to you?
Praise you, Jesus. Thank you. Amen. Hallelujah.
Yeah. You're going to be good. The Lord's stronger than COVID.
The Lord is going to be coming down and scooping us up pretty soon.
See, that's my thing. I encourage people to pray, but stay resilient. Don't put your out of business sign out. Don't. You got to do business. Can't do business while trying to go out of business.
That's right.
And just remember, everything that can be shaken will be shaken, except that which cannot be shaken, which will remain. And you know. But listen.
When you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Go to watchchad.com for the fun stuff is. And Lisa Page made me do it. You're about to be back up and running. I'm excited about that.
Friday. Woo!
Rock and roll Friday. Candace, Mark, thank you guys. We love y'all. God bless you. We will talk to y'all tomorrow night. Here we go. Bye.